ServSafe CH3 exam questions. What is alert? Alert is a food defense program. What is the best way to protect food from deliberate tampering? Perform spot inspections on new vendors. Use the USDA ALARM system. Make it as difficult as possible for someone to tamper with it. Allow former employees into the operation. Make it as difficult as possible for someone to tamper with it. Which is a big 8 food allergen? Broccoli, wheat, pork, grapes. Wheat. Which is a chemical contaminant? Tomato juice served in a pewter pitcher, metal shavings in a can of peaches, sigwater, a toxin in a red snapper, bones in a chicken fillet. Tomato juice served in a pewter pitcher. What should food handlers do to prevent food allergens from being transferred to food? Label chemical containers correctly. Use clean and sanitized utensils when prepping the order. Store cold food at 41 degrees Fahrenheit 5 degrees Celsius or lower. Cook food to the appropriate minimum internal temperature. Use clean and sanitized utensils when prepping the order. What can servers do to prevent guests from having an allergic reaction? Deliver all food to a table at the same time. Identify all ingredients except secret ingredients. Let guests know when you think they are reasonably safe. Clearly mark the order for a guest with an allergy. Clearly mark the order for a guest with an allergy. When implementing a food defense program, what is the best way to make sure food has been received from a safe source? Purchase food only from a large distributor. Use food suppliers who are local. Request delivery vehicles be locked and sealed. Purchase products directly from the source. Request delivery vehicles be locked and sealed. What can kitchen staff do to prevent guests from having an allergic reaction? Cook all fried foods in the same fryers. Use the same cooking utensils to handle all food. Wash hands after preparing food for guests with allergies. Check recipes and ingredient labels for allergens. Check recipes and ingredient labels for allergens. Which item contains a common allergen? Peanut butter, filet mignon, chicken wings, orange juice. Peanut butter. A dishwasher ran out of sanitizer for the 3-compartment sink and used sanitizer from the dish machine instead. Why was this a mistake? It is too difficult to measure the sanitizer correctly. The sanitizer was not used the way it was intended. The sanitizer will not sanitize equipment when used this way. The sanitizer is too expensive to use this way. The sanitizer was not used the way it was intended. What does alert stand for? A sure look. Employees report threat. What is the best method from preventing a physical hazard in food from causing an injury? Proper cleaning and sanitizing, preventing cross-contamination, practicing proper food defense, purchasing from approved suppliers. Purchasing from approved suppliers. Wheezing and hives are symptoms of botulism, norovirus, hepatitis A, food allergies. Food allergies. A guest became ill with vomiting and diarrhea within minutes of eating. What type of contamination was the likely cause? Viral, allergen, biological, chemical. Chemical. To prevent the deliberate contamination of food, a manager should know whom to contact about suspicious activity, where to find safety data sheets in the operation, when to register with the EPA, how to fill out an incident report. Whom to contact about suspicious activity. A restaurant stores windshield washer fluid for their delivery vehicles with other chemicals used in the operation. Why can't it be stored there? It can react with the other chemicals that are stored there. It is highly toxic and corrosive to metals. It is not necessary for the maintenance of the facility. It is more likely to leak. It is not necessary for the maintenance of the facility. The transfer of allergens from food or food contact surfaces to the food served to an allergic guest is called biological contamination, cross-contamination, allergenic transfer, cross-contact. Cross-contact. A chef used brushes purchased at the local hardware store to baste food. Why was this a mistake? The brushes are not approved for use with food. The brushes will not last due to heavy use. These types of brushes are not as easy to clean. These brushes are not long enough to prevent burns. The brushes are not approved for use with food. How should chemicals be stored to prevent chemical contamination? On the floor between uses, away from prep areas, on the work surface of prep tables, with food supplies below prep tables. Away from prep areas. Which symptom could mean a customer is having an allergic reaction to food? Sneezing, dehydration, coughing, swollen lips. Swollen lips. To prevent food allergens from being transferred to food, buy food from trusted suppliers. Avoid using pewter tableware and copper cookware. Clean and sanitize utensils after handling a food allergen. Store cold food at 41 degrees Fahrenheit 5 degrees Celsius or lower. Clean and sanitize utensils after handling a food allergen. Which is an example of physical contamination? Bones and fish touching dirty food contact surfaces, sneezing on food, cooking tomato sauce in a copper pan. Bones and fish.